Good morning. Welcome to your Do-In practice. Today we're going to work with the wood element. It's a very energetic element. But before we dive in, I want to welcome you on your mat. Place your feet and let's just arrive here for a moment. You can place your hands, right hand first, left hand over, just below the belly button. The palms over each other. And just close your eyes for a bit. And arrive. Wherever you're coming from, just arrive for this small part of the day where you tune into your body, tune into your breath, and you start the conversation of what is happening within my body, what is it telling me? Think again about bringing that space between all the vertebrae. Maybe you want to tilt your pelvis a little bit, tuck in the chin a little bit so that the bones in your neck get the space as well, and then relax the shoulders. Feel the feet on the mat, how you touch the floor. You can shoot roots out of the middle of your feet, whatever that means for you, deep down in the earth. And just pull some energy from the earth up back in your body, through those roots, through that kidney point in the middle of your foot, up the legs, to the back, to the spine, up the spine, all the way to the head. And then connect the top of your head to the heavens. And you can visualize it like a column of light or a string that you shoot up there. Just your head opening up. And pull some energy down from the heavens into your body, through your crown, through the spine, all the way to the lower belly. And where you've placed your hands just below your belly button, you can visualize where the earth energy meets the heavens energy. And strengthens you in the core of you. Take a deep breath. All the way down in the lungs to the lower belly. And then slowly sigh it out. Feel everything just release in the body. Let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath. And slowly release. And let go of the hands. Open your eyes. Shake a little bit the feet. Maybe the whole body. It's always nice. Now let's begin with a little bit of movement. Widen your stance a little bit and just start twisting from the pelvis or from that point that you were just holding, just below the belly button. See what stance is nice for you with the feet. You don't want to feel too much in the knees. Bend the knees a little bit as well. And turn from your hara, from your belly, the point that you just touched. That's where the movement's coming from first. And the rest just follows. The arms are just floppy, and they're just moving with. You look a little bit from side to side. You make your stance a little wider. Then we can bend the knee that you're turning towards. Just a little bit more movement in the body. Watch out for some neighbors or vases or furniture to the left and right of you. You can increase if you want to, like a little bit more invigorating. I'm going to move a little bit more up and get the hands to touch the lung points. It's just beneath the collarbone, with the collarbone where it touches the shoulder bone, there's like an indentation. But this is where we just give a little tap. Keep that twisting going, because that's actually the gallbladder meridian. And the gallbladder meridian and the liver meridian both make up the wood element. And on the back, you're doing the same thing. With your fist, you're tapping just around the kidneys. And we can go a little bit higher as well. We can go over the shoulder and just tap those shoulders awake a little bit. You can do that with the side of your hand, or just do it with the cup of your hand, whatever is nicest for you. There's actually a nice gallbladder meridian point on top here. You can get that. Or just tap wherever it feels good. Just remember, doing is all about feeling good. Go lower to the lung points again. You don't really have to treat them real soft. You don't have to bang yourself too much, but it should have a little bit of a punch. And we go down again. And then slowly let the movement go. Let's bring the feet a little bit closer together. If you want to put them all the way together, that's fine as well. A little bit more stability if you do it hip width. Put your hands back on that point below the belly button. Let's just feel. Maybe you feel some tingling sensation. And slowly you feel your body waking up. Some warmth rushing from one point to another. It's good to check in every once in a while to see if it's actually doing anything. And trust me, it's doing something, but sometimes you just don't feel it. Oh, sometimes these little shivers happen to me. And that's stuck energy that's starting to move. Let's work with a nice gallbladder point. I hope you can see it. It's on the side on your last rib. So if you put your hands in your sides like this, and all the way here is where my fingers or my thumb is making contact with a rib. It's your floating rib. I think it's a 12th rib. And if you get that point exactly right. Maybe fiddle around a little bit. And then when you find the point, just rest your fingers there for a while. We're just going to move from side to side. If you can't find the point, just decide on a spot where it's good for you. Now we're going to do a little bit of a free flow movement. Just do whatever movement's nice for you while holding these points. This point is actually connected to your kidneys, to the water element, which is very nice to work with when you're really tired. Doing this exercise in the morning might save you a trip to the coffee machine. And moving around with your pelvic floor like this, it releases a lot in the lower back, which is really nice. Often when we're a little bit depleted of energy, we say that you're low on kidney energy then. Kidneys are really the essence. And you can often feel that in your lower back. So if your lower back is hurting, it might be good for you to just stretch the kidney meridian a little bit. And what we're doing now is we're grabbing a gallbladder point, which is one of those wood element meridians, which is connected to the kidney. It's an acute point. So let's say you need some kidney energy now. You've had a long day yesterday, or maybe you did something in the night that made you a little bit restless. You didn't get the sleep that you wanted. This acute point can help you replenish that a little bit, get things moving again. The water element is actually the element that's feeding the wood element. Just like you you water your plants. So maybe we can combine that, because there's a really interesting kidney water point underneath the foot. Let's see if I can show you like this. So in the middle of the foot, right there, you can feel a little bit of an indentation. So on your left and your right foot, it's nice to maybe grab them a little bit, activate them just a little bit. You can sit down for this as well, or grab a wall or a chair next to you. And then we're gonna do this with the toes. We're gonna put them spread out on the floor, and then we're gonna crawl them back in. And we're gonna spread them out again, and then like scraping the floor, we're gonna pull them back in. And while we're doing this, we're holding these points of the gallbladder meridian, on the sides, again on the 12th rib. And if this is a challenge with your balance, just do one at a time, that's fine. And see whether, if you can, we're going to make it a little bit more difficult now. Also lower those shoulders. And also do the breath deep in the belly. And also give that space to every vertebrae. And the way that you do that, what you will see with Doin more and more is your stability comes from here. So the more that you breathe down in the belly, the more stable you are. The more pure your movements are. Because the whole idea of, you can twist the feet around a little as well. The whole idea of Doin is to relax as much for you to get out of the way of the self-healing properties of the body. So not to tense up, not to stress, but just to relax. And you want to give those ankles a twirl as well. Ooh, a nice crack. Okay. Let's loosen those arms again. Just make a little movement wherever you want to. Oh, I feel my lower back. So I'm gonna roll down my spine or my head vertebrae by vertebrae. Until my hands touch the floor or wherever they come that's so comfortable for you. I'm just going to hang here for a bit. Check whether your feet are still parallel. Make sure your knees are not locked either. They have a little bit of a bend. And let your head hang. Relax the neck and the shoulders. We're actually stretching the bladder meridian, which is another water element point, just to get some juice going for all the wood meridians, the liver and the gallbladder. And slowly come to the floor. Let's stretch those legs for a little bit. Stretch out one of the legs, whichever is most comfortable for you. And again, just feel what your body likes to do. You can pull your toes back towards you. You can point them, twist them forward, a little bit more to the back. And sometimes you get a place that's a little bit tight. Then you can take a different angle and just stretch that a little bit, maybe warm it up a little bit by rubbing or tapping it, and then come back to that place that was a little bit more tight. And oftentimes you'll find that it's just a little bit more relaxed. So here on the outside of the leg, there's a piece of gallbladder meridian, especially on top here, it's often a little tight. And if I stretch the inside, where's the kidney meridian, the water one, that's feeding the gallbladder, just giving it a little bit of a rest, and it feels a lot nicer. If you turn to the other one, when you're ready, just see whatever feels good. I'm feeling my shoulders, they want a little bit of a twist. I'm doing the same thing with my pointy toes, getting the gallbladder meridian involved. A little stiff yet. I'm gonna pull my toes towards me a little bit and to the back. Kidney meridian. And go back to my gallbladder meridian again. Oh, that's nice. So let's come to the floor. Sit down. And stretch those legs a little bit. Maybe give those knees a little rub if they're a little stiff. Knees can always use a little bit of attention. And then make sure that you're on top of a block or a cushion, preferably something hard. if this is an uncomfortable position for you. We want to make you as comfortable as possible, so you can always sit on a block, put some pillows underneath your knees to support. Just do whatever makes you feel good. So the liver and the gallbladder meridian, the wood element. The gallbladder meridian runs on the side. It's almost the longest meridian that's there. It goes from your fourth toe all the way on the sides, all the way up the torso on the sides, and then it makes like two of these circles around or half circles around the head. So when you have a headache, often the gallbladder meridian and the liver meridian are involved. So what we're going to do now is just stretch the sides a little bit. And wood element is all about movement and entrepreneurship, doing things, being active. It's like spring, you know, everything comes out of the ground and starts blossoming, this bright green color. And everything is waking up again. It's connected to the tendons and the joints as well. And often we work a lot behind the computer, so getting just some movement in that gallbladder meridian and the liver meridian, it's a really nice way of getting the key moving so that it doesn't get stuck. So when we're frustrated or angry, that's also that wood element. That often is heat that goes all the way up, and then it goes to your head, and your head sometimes feels like it's going to explode. You can actually see that with people like becoming red in the face. So then working with the gallbladder meridian and the liver meridian is very nice. And the liver meridian is the yin, and the gallbladder meridian is the active yang. So if you want, you can put your fingers again, those thumbs, on that gallbladder 25 point, the one that connects it to the water element. We're just going to move. It's a very active meridian. It's like pumping energy into it. And then a headache or tense shoulders is often energy that got up there but just got stuck. Like the movement stopped. We were thinking too much and not exercising enough. So what you can do is eat sour stuff, like a sour pickle, for example, or pickled radishes. Pickled stuff is really nice because that's kind of like bursting, like giving that stuck energy sort of a push, like, evaporate, get moving. And also it sometimes needs to just calm down. And that's where that water element really comes into play. Just go with the flow. Don't be so exuberant all the time. Take rest. Okay, now that we've warmed up a little bit, let's try some stretches. So we're going to turn to one of the two legs. I'm taking my right one, and then I'm taking my right arm, and I'm going to move that over my head to my left foot. The whole idea is that you just take a little twist in the torso, and then you move towards your other foot, stretching that meridian on the side. And you can make it really small, like just lean over until you feel a little bit of a stretch. And that's actually a meridian stretch. For a meridian stretch, that is enough. Just to feel that stretch and see whether you can tilt that pelvic floor a little bit forward so that you get a little bit more stretch here. And then work with that breath again. When you breathe in new energy, fresh energy. When you breathe out that stale energy, that stale ki that's everywhere. So you breathe out all the tension in the shoulders, maybe in the sides of the ribs. And when you breathe in, you bring new energized blood to those places, full of nutrients and oxygen. And then if you want, you can turn all the way over and grab your toe. And keep working with that breath. And relax the leg. Relax your face. Relax your arm and your shoulder. At least all those muscles that you're not using right now for the movement itself, for the stretch. And find those micro muscles that are still tensing up, even though they're not needed right now. When you're ready, slowly move upwards with your arm over your head, and then twist to the other leg, lift the other arm up, and stretch to the other side. You can use your hand on the floor to just push against your leg a little bit to get a little bit more twist going, as long as it's comfortable. So for me, I feel a lot of stuck energy now moving. I'm getting a little bit warmer. And that's probably from stretching the other side. So first you stretch, you wake the meridian up. You bring it some new energy by breathing in and releasing some old. Taking the stretch a little bit further. And again, finding that relaxation in all those little muscles, maybe even a big muscle. And just let go. Every breath, just let go a little bit more. Keep that twist going. And slowly come up. And let's just move the legs a little bit. Maybe move the shoulders as well. And slowly pull those legs towards you. Let's go windshield wipe a little bit with the knees. Do this very carefully. In the beginning, you just did a big stretch. Give them a little bit of time. Maybe you hear some crunching in your lower back. And we're rolling now over the buttock. There are lots of tight tissue there often because we sit a lot. And there's a really nice gallbladder point there as well. With my clients, I often put my elbow in there and just leave it there for a bit. See whether it can relax on its own. And then come in cross-legged position, maybe twist your shoulders a little bit. We're in one space. Twist it around a little bit. Do this very carefully. And also listen to your body, what it needs. That's the number one thing. If you listen to your body, to what it needs, you gain a little bit more trust of your body. We often take our bodies for granted. It's carrying us around all the time, and we do overwork and we eat not always the things that we know are healthy for us. We get emotions and then we don't digest the emotions, so we kind of lock them in somehow in the shoulders or that headache. So with these practices, when we say, hey body, thank you for carrying me all this way, that means a lot. So today I'm going to show you a very nice point when you have a headache. Two, actually. We'll start with one. It's the liver 3 point. Hope you can see. It's when you follow your big toe and your second toe, and then follow that line that goes just in between those two. So there's a tendon here, there's a tendon here, and then in between the tendons until you feel them meeting. Well, in there, there's a liver 3 point, and you'll know when you reach it. So I want to invite you to just sit. Maybe we can do both at the same time. You can leave your socks on if you want to. It's a little bit more warm. So get into a comfortable position where you can grab both and just close your eyes. Sit on a block or a cushion if you want to. You can also just stretch out one. Or maybe you just want to sit like this and just put your fingers like this. Maybe you just want to grab one point. When you're grabbing this point, make sure you put some pressure on it if you can, because sometimes they're so tight, they're very painful. Do as much as you can. Like a little bit pain is a good thing, because that means that you're probably getting the signals, I know I should move something. So your body starts moving a little bit. If it's so much pain that you stop breathing, take a little bit gas off the pedal. Then again, if you stop breathing and you can consciously start that breathing up again, deep, low in the diaphragm, that's your best bet. Like original Shiatsu from the Japanese, they work really, really hard on these points. It's like a real physical session that you get. Here in the West, it's often a lot more soft. And the idea is that the Asian people are a lot more soft, a little bit more humble, internalized. So they need that force to get everything moving. And here in the West, we're continuously saying everything that's on our mind and doing all these yang things instead of yin. Yin is turning inwards, yang is turning outwards. So we need a little bit more sedation, tranquility. So it's more getting the body to relax in such a way that all the energy starts moving again. That is what we are looking for. that little sigh that the body sometimes does, or sometimes a big yawn. That often means that you've contacted the point and stuff is moving. You can feel it out whether it still needs a little bit more holding or whether it's good this way, whether you want to massage it. So when you have a headache, what you do with this point, the liver 3 point, is you pull all that yang energy downwards. All that wood ki, you pull it towards your foot because that's where your attention is going right now. Plus it's a point that kind of flushes the entire body. What we just said that sour does, it kind of disperses everything. That's what this point does as well. Like with stuck energy, you want to get things moving. This is kind of like a flush through the entire system. And if I close my eyes and just turn inwards, I feel a lot of things moving in my body. I feel some points, some parts relaxing. Feel a little bit of a pressure on my chest subsiding a little bit. And the nice thing is this could be different for everyone. It just depends on where you're stuck or where you just need a little bit more energy. And slowly release this point. Liver 3. And just sit for a while. And tune into what this does to you, for you, with you. When you're ready to come back, slowly do. And I'll show you another point. This one is a gallbladder point. We already did one in the ribs with a more active pose. Now we're going to go for Gallbladder 41. It's between the 5th and the 4th toe. And then again, if you follow those ligaments, like in between, and then at some point they meet. That is where you want to be. And that can be a painful point as well. Like the most interesting way. Oh, look, I really see my liver 3 point. This, like we said in the earth element do-in, means that my muscles don't really have the energy to push it out. So I need to work on my earth element as well. Let's go for the gallbladder 41 first. It's right over there. I'm touching it with your thumb. Your thumb is the most potent finger, I would say, because it's got the girth and the full extension of the arm. And with self Shiatsu, you sometimes have to be a little bit more creative. And just use your other fingers as well. So get into a comfortable position, whatever works for you. And hold that gallbladder 41. And if you're sitting like I'm sitting, the fun thing to do is with the thumb, you can do that kidney 1 point just in the middle of the foot there, underneath the ball of the foot. For some people, it's a little bit more down. For me, it's up here. Just feel where it feels good. So you can make a point combination even. Then with pressing with these fingers is not just pressing. There's an intention involved. Like you intend to really connect to that point that is underneath there, to that tsubo or key point, where the energy is just a little bit more accessible of the meridian that runs underneath. You want to intend for that point to reach its full potential again. So I'm listening to my body and taking a different seat because I feel like I really need the point. So I'm going to switch my attention to not grabbing kidney 1 anymore. So Gallbladder 41. Again, it's working on the foot, which is really nice when you have all that energy that just went to your head. So when you're working hard behind the computer, doing a lot of planning and decision making, working with the wood elements is really nice. Sometimes it can get a little bit too crowded in the head. You just want to siphon some of that off. So Gallbladder 41 also pulls it down. And what it also does, it opens one of the special meridians or curious vessels, or so many translations, that runs across your torso around your waist. It's the belt vessel, and it opens that up. So make sure that upper and lower body are more connected to each other. We're often not aware of our lower body, of our feet touching the earth, of our butts that we're sitting on the entire day. Some people talk really loudly when they're angry. These points can calm down, just bring balance back into the system. We need a little bit of funk to get going. So the wood energy is really nice when you need to start things up, run projects. But as soon as it doesn't flow the way that it should, people are not cooperating, or the planning was a little bit too ambitious, we often tighten up. And then the wood energy that wants to flow, that needs to flow, just gets stuck. And this way we're calming it down a little bit, pulling it down so that we can see clearly again. And the liver is connected to seeing clearly as well. It's connected to the eyes. Internally, it runs all the way to the eyes. Focus. We can't have a head that's too crowded if we really want the focus. Just slowly let go when you're ready. And then I want to ask you to slowly stand up. Do this slowly. We've been here for a while. Maybe just twist around on the floor. We just pull a lot of energy down, so we want that to go. We don't want to pass out when we get up. Just slowly stretch your legs while hanging forward. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, pull your upper body up as well. And then a neat trick, if you're a little bit dizzy now, just stomp your feet a little bit, or your heels on the floor. That makes you a little bit more grounded again. Now, as we're working with the wood energy, I want to invigorate you before we leave, so we can use the tapping to just tap on the liver and the gallbladder here on the side. The liver goes, let's do the gallbladder first. Go down on the sides. Maybe take a little bit more of the upper leg. It's always stiff. Here in the lower, and then we go back up on the inside. On the inside, a little bit the front side. Here in the middle of the knee. The inside, there's a cool liver point as well in the groin, and here on the midline to the side a little bit underneath the breasts. Take a little bit off the chest as well. And we go down again on the sides. Really wake up that gallbladder meridian. That's running smoothly now. All the way down and then back up on the inside. All the way up here. And then we go down to the belly and just tap a little bit in rounds around the belly. To get to a very soft way of tapping, and then maybe rubbing the belly a little bit. And shake it out. Shake your hands, shake your feet. Maybe do a final stretch of the sides. Pull your hands up. Just put one hand over the wrist of the other and just pull it up and then twist to the side. Stay balanced with your legs and your hips, just the upper body. And come back up again. And then do that to the other side. Pull it up and pull it to the sides. Oh, that feels good. Oh, and take them back up again. Release your arms. Just have a little shake. Get everything that is now happy and alive. Just shake it a little bit. And then just leave. Let's leave this session again how we started it, with the feet together and the hands on the belly, the palms on top of each other just below the navel. And just feel how you're standing here right now. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. If you feel like your body needs some more movement, I invite you to keep moving. Just do some extra stretches or twists. And for the rest of you, I wish you a very happy day. Thank you for joining. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.